This video has no title as well as no topic, because this title topic thing is what, in my opinion, is limiting a lot of us on this platform. See, we have been lied to for so long. We're told that your video has to have a title, very good title, stuff like that. The video has to have a topic. I'm telling you, if you're not careful, you trying to play that game is ultimately what's going to get you burnt out. If you take a look at this channel, I've been making videos for like 3 years non-stop, and yes, I have come to the point where I can tell you, of course, I understand that most times these videos don't get views, but it doesn't stop me from saying what I want to say. And what I want to say is that I have noticed that the videos without titles or topic, they tend to get more impressions on this channel. And if you have been making videos, boxing yourself into some corner, inconveniencing yourself, because a lot of us, you have a different kind of, you have a different kind of, you have different stuff that interests you. You are possibly interested in so many other things. Maybe theater, it could be poetry, it could be stuff like that. But because you want to play the YouTube game, you want to get the YouTube bread, and you have been lied to that you have to, focus on a particular topic, and that topic has to have, a very wide audience, people that are interested in that thing. Otherwise, you're not going to get views. I'm telling you, that is a lie in itself, because I have noticed each time I talk about nothing, like I come here, sit here and just yap, like this video has no title, no topic. Whatever comes to my mind, of course, it's not scripted. Whatever comes to my mind, I'm going to talk about it. It might be in business, it might be my private life, it might be whatever. I'm just talking about it. I have noticed that these videos tend to get more impressions. The videos that have kind of performed, and don't get it wrong, performance in my own definition is the video that enjoys, a very good impression from YouTube, because impressions are what matters at the end of the day. If I don't know, I'm just going to link a video here to show you that this is exactly what matters. Like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I spent 14 hours editing a video. Very powerful editing, powerful storyline. I went heavily into storytelling. I'm telling you guys, I gave that video my best shot. When I was even recording this video in the warehouse, I was telling myself, why do you have to spend so much hours? Because I take a look at YouTube video creation from a business lens. If I have to spend 20 hours doing one video and the video gets 10 views, that's a loss, because you're just better off if YouTube bread is all you're looking for, you're better off getting a mini job or something like that, where if you work 10 hours, you'll be paid accordingly to the amount of effort that you have put in. So because of that, I have started treating YouTube exactly what it is, like a hobby. I no longer kill myself. Yes, don't get it wrong, if YouTube decides tomorrow that they want to begin to give me impressions, then like I always say, it's a business relationship. If YouTube want to do the right thing, give my channel impressions, yes, I also have to do the right thing by creating quality content. But if YouTube has decided that it doesn't matter what I create, spend 14 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours creating a video only for the video to get 20 impressions, that makes no sense. And this is exactly why it's kind of lighter for me, because now I can actually come here and just be myself. I don't have to, take a look at my earlier videos. I have to be sure that everything is on point. Lighting is all right. There are no noise. My kids are not running on the background. I had to, check to see what title is getting clicks and stuff like that. But right now, given that YouTube is like a hobby for me, I just finished eating dinner. My wife made it very nice, pomes with some ketchup sauce and some nice fried swine meat. She made it so nice, and I liked stuff like that. I just finished eating, drank a cup of wine, and I felt like the best thing for me to do now is to sit here. Given that I enjoy video making, I felt I'm just being careful so that I do not hit my camera stand. And all right, I enjoy video making. I felt like I could actually come here, sit in front of my camera, and just talk to you without thinking. Of course, I'm not just going to come here and talk nonsense, but I'm still going to give you some game. But the idea is I have not spent 15 hours trying to think about the video, and I'm also not going to pretty much edit it. I'm just going to take this video from my stick, put it on my computer. In less than 10 minutes this video will be up on YouTube. If it gets 2 views, I'm okay with it, because I've not had to bother my head, do a lot of research for the video to still get that same 2 views. I'm telling you from experience, because if I haven't tried it before, I will listen to some guru telling me all sort of stuff, and this is exactly what makes a lot of us burnt out. You haven't put in a lot of reps, and because of that, when a guru is telling you things, you think they are right, you think they have the magic wand or some magic formula for you. You keep hopping from one guru to the other. But if you have put in a lot of reps across all my channels, I believe I've created more than 2,000 pieces of content, long form content, across my 4 YouTube channels. At the end of the day, I have come to realize that sometimes it doesn't matter, even if a topic is trending. When the MacBook Neo just came out, I was one of the first few people that made a video about that particular notebook, and that video didn't get a lot of impression. Of course, I'm just going to mention it anyway. Shadow banning is something people deny on YouTube. I also don't think the channel is shadow banned, because I have checked for this channel using incognito mode. I see it, so I don't believe that was going on. But like I said, I do not know why some videos get impressions and others don't. But from what I have seen, from the very many content I have created, the very video that gets a lot of impression for me might be different for you. I'm just talking from my own experience. In any case, I do not have anything to lose, because this is just me sitting here. I'm not trying to lie to you or get your money or sell you something. The video that has worked for me are the videos that I never ever thought about. I am the owner of the Hardware Money channel, in case you have seen my videos somewhere else. The video on that channel that blew up that channel, as at now, I think that video has about I'm not so sure, 400 and something thousand views. That video was made in my living room. I had already been in the warehouse all day. I was working on a Lenovo ThinkPad T480. I opened it up, and somehow I did get some shots of that notebook, of me opening it, because I really had a difficult time opening that laptop. All right, so when I was opening it, kind of the camera was on, rolling, just gathering the data. So when I got home in the evening, I was like, man, that notebook was one difficult notebook to open. Why don't you sit down and just talk about your experience, about you opening that notebook and stuff like that? So I remember what I did do. I charged my microphone. I had this Rode Wireless Go 2, and I just charged it, and I started talking even without the camera being on. I was just talking on the because the Rode Wireless Go has this function that you can actually record on the with the mic and the receiver or something like that. I don't know. So I recorded my voice, me just talking about this notebook, that was a good notebook, stuff like that. And then when I finished talking, I realized that there were some clips that were missing, like me talking about receiving, buying this notebook on eBay. So I went the next day to the warehouse, recorded me just opening a carton, and I also talked about the fact that my MacBook Pro was broken, and I also recorded that same clip, just small clips here and there that didn't cost me any form of mental or physical stress to gather those clips. When I posted that video, it exploded, guys. So I'm telling you, I was shocked. Got my channel monetized, got a lot of subscribers. Till date, it's the best video on the channel. Even till date, 3 years later, that video still gets that video still gets views every given day. About 400 views every day from search. It's crazy. When I saw that video performed very well without me even thinking, guys, you know what I did? Hear me out. I went ahead and recreated that video even better. Better story, better shots, with the same laptop, the same thumbnail. At the end of the day, boom. That particular video that was created next bombed. Of course, bomb is relative. It didn't perform the way I expected it to have, because I spent more effort editing it even more, and it just kind of bombed. So ever since, I am very, very chill when it comes to me making content. So I'm talking from a very good data perspective, not just because I haven't tried all I have to try. 2 videos ago, I also spent some time designing a thumbnail, even though I said I wasn't going to do anything related to thumbnail. And right now, that video is sitting at 8 views, 150 impressions. All right. So it is what it is. I'm not just here to only yap. Yes, we're still going to talk about something that makes sense. So, but the moral of this whole story is that do what makes you happy. Yes, you might have a lot of limitations. You want to make money on YouTube. You are limiting yourself with the kind of content you would have loved to be creating. For some of us, the kind of content that we should be creating are content that do not get views. But once again, in this particular area, I'm going to give the gurus, a pass mark. Because if you want to exist on this platform, you have to do the thing that you really love doing. Because if you want to play this game of just following where the money is, trying to create content that the platform loves, I'm telling you guys, this game of YouTube is a very, very long game. On the surface level, you might be thinking when you see this creator, your favorite creator coming out here to reel off with some scripted video and stuff like that, you might be thinking it's something that's easy to pull off. Some of these big YouTubers that you have or you see there, they've got a team behind them. They've got people making sure that everything is right. The videos are researched, the scripts are right, the shots are taken or even planned out. The videos are well edited. If you are thinking that you want to replicate what they are doing with your own one-man squad, even possibly having a full-time job, having no manner of distractions in your life, you better think again. Better think again, because if you go to Reddit, there's a particular subreddit, small YouTubers, you are going to see all manner of horror stories there. This is not me just being negative. I'm just telling you. Of course, problem is that when people come out to tell you the real truth, most people think they are just sitting down there and just whining and being negative. No, if you go there, small YouTubers, you will see that there are a lot of horror stories. There are a lot of people hate AI content. Yes, I pretty much don't like it, I'm not going to lie, but a lot of genuine creators are also being caught up in this web where the YouTube system just kind of classified them as non-relevant content and never ever let those content get to see the light of day. But from my own channel perspective, considering that I've made a lot of videos, I have come to realize that each time I yap like this, I get a lot of impressions. So pardon me if it feels like I am yapping, but it is what it is. This is how I also get to meet new people. Of course, people are going to comment on this video. We're going to start a conversation, and before you know it, they get deeper into the rabbit hole of my channel. I realize that I am actually a reseller, somebody that sells a lot of IT hardwares, desktop PCs, monitors, stuff like that for profit. And perhaps they might be interested in what I do, and they can also get to be part of this whole flipping items for profit. Of course, I'm not just going to leave the channel. I'm going to be dropping content here, but the thing is, the content is definitely going to be such that it doesn't take up all my mental bandwidth, because like I always say, or like I have said even for the 3rd time, being on YouTube is supposed to be treated either as a hobby, and leave it as the hobby that it is, which is you get something that interests you. If I'm going down the street or tomorrow going to the city and I see something happening that I need to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. But if it is a business relationship, you have to treat it as such, which is if you are doing it and it's not giving you the real return that you need, you have to change the strategy. Either you make it the hobby that it is, or you put in more effort to make it into a business. Of course, there's going to come that time where I'm going to make this channel a real business, but until that time, which is pretty much until YouTube decides to do what they have to do, because the blame has always been put on the content creator. You create a video, doesn't perform, they tell you make a better video. Right now I am putting the blame on YouTube to say If videos don't perform, YouTube also do the right thing by finding the audience for this video, because in the video I have mentioned who the video is about. I have talked about the fact that this video is supposed to be, I mean, not this particular video, but my previous video, they are for resellers. I'm showing you how I flip item for profit, and when the video don't get impressions, that fault is no longer mine, because there's pretty much nothing you can do. If you've done your SEO, you've done a good title, a good thumbnail, you've spoken some sense in the video, not just yapping, you've really given some value to somebody else. It doesn't necessarily have to be 300,000 people, but at least there must be 300 people or 400 people in the world that should be able to find this video interesting, which I have done. And when YouTube is saying we don't want to give these videos impressions, there's nothing I can do but to just leave the videos as, you know, a hobby that it is, which is exactly why I am making this video right now. And I am very, very sure that the next video I'm going to be making, I'm going to be coming here to tell you that this particularly fake video I made, which is this one right here, got an untold amount of impression, and possibly will be able to start a little, you know, a new concept, you know, trying to make you guys see that the more normal your video is, the more not thought out your video is, perhaps it might just be the missing link that you have been looking for. All right, guys, we're going to leave it here. Of course, if I have something coming up again, I'm going to come here and talk about it. But let's see you again in the next video. Keep on rocking.